Today I want to talk about 10 JRPGs that made me rage quit. But I love them. That's right, I loved all of them. Good news, there isn't a single bad JRPG in the list this time, yeah! That doesn't mean, however, these games didn't piss me off. So, let's begin. I'm back, that's right. Haven't done this in a while. It's been a few years since I last done the last rage quit video. Wow, it's been a while. Which means I've been bottling up all that rage deep inside of me. Oh yeah. Anyway, let's begin. Like I said before, these games are great. I love them, but... yeah. So let's just start with number 10. This is a game that I played many years ago, and I have no idea why I didn't include this asshole in the previous videos. It's a Tales game, and it's called Tales of Graces F. This little guy here is, in my opinion, one of the best Tales of games ever made. I love this one. Great character development, you know, the 3 story arcs. Great game, excellent battle system, hard to get into, I know. But it's also infamous for being brutally hard. For good reasons, because it's such an asshole, man! The hardest part about Tales of Graces F is the bosses. I have no idea what the hell they were thinking. Maybe they wanted to, like, create the hardest Tales of ever made, challenge themselves and therefore challenge the player, because some of these bosses are freaking insane. The hardest boss battle I remember for some reason was a 2-in-a-row battle fighting the Little Queens. God damn this boss battle, it pissed me off so bad. I lost a million times until I miraculously beat this bitch and her freaking minions. I love this game, but if people complain often about it for being brutally hard, listen to these people. They are right. The challenge, however, is amazing. It's a great game. It feels so good when you beat these fucking bosses. You'll be celebrating. You get this sense of accomplishment when you beat them. That's right. Well, guess what? I didn't get any sense of accomplishment when I beat these little queens. They suck, man. I was like, after the battle was over, I was like, thank goodness, I don't want to ever go through that again. That's Tales of Graces F for you. Number 9. Number 9 is a game that I beat quite recently. As a matter of fact, I beat this game a few days ago. It's called Summon Night 6 Lost Borders. And if you play this game, to the very few people who have played this game out there, who might be watching this video, this is an easy as hell game. I can't believe it. And I played the game on normal the entire game until the end. Summon Night 6 Lost Borders is probably officially one of the easiest RPGs ever created. I don't know if it was an error in localization. I don't know if the Japanese original version is just as easy as this one. It's a walk in the freaking park, right? And then I reached the final boss, easy as hell too. No, it beat the shit out of me. The bosses before the final boss were a walk in the freaking park. They died in 2 turns, man. But then I got to the final boss, and it's one of those final bosses with 3 phases, right? And the first phase was like, another joke. And the second phase was like, what's going on? Even my most powerful mages, my most powerful attacks, my most powerful unite attacks didn't do shit. I'm not gonna show any footage because I don't want to spoil anybody. But just remember this. It's a good game, but the final boss is fucking horseshit! I had to downgrade the difficulty to easy just to stand a chance. Because to make matters worse, most of the time the boss's attacks weren't doing anything to me. So it was like, this battle will never end. This final boss is never gonna kill my characters and I'm never gonna kill him. What the hell? I looked it up online and it turns out I only found a few people complaining about the same. No one knows what the hell happened. Was it an error in localization? Is the original Japanese version like this? You know, Gaijin Works localized this game, and they were the Working Designs guys, right? So they're kind of famous, they're kind of known for fucking up a few localizations. So maybe they messed up again, I don't know, but this final boss was so freaking awkward. And I got so frustrated because I didn't know what to do. I tried 3 times, man, 3 times fighting this asshole, and nothing worked. So I changed the difficulty to easy and I made it after like half an hour of battling this asshole. That's right. My number 8 is a game that I don't have, and it's actually not a JRPG, but I just had to include this bastard here, man. I can't believe it. I streamed this game. It's an indie RPG. Can you believe that? An indie RPG. So, I think it's Western. From the US. I could be wrong. I didn't do research. Because I don't care! I don't want to know! I don't want to understand! So, the thing is that I played this game, I streamed the game, and during the first 2 hours, it's a strategy RPG. During the first 2 hours, I was, man, wow! This is great! I am loving this! You know, and so after the stream I kept playing the game and it started to go downhill. Yeah, you ever had that feeling the first 2 hours are freaking amazing and then it all goes to hell? That's what happened to me with Children of Zodiacs. Children of Zodiacs has this grid-based tactical battle system, but it relies on cards. And the cards, the deck you get, it's a little bit like Bats and Kaitos. I mean, you get this huge deck of several cards, maybe 30, maybe 40. I don't know, it grows the more you advance in the game. It's like Bats and Kaitos, you know, you get a random 5 set of cards at the beginning of the battle. And yes, you can change them. You can change only one card where you miss one turn, you waste one turn. And then, you know, you get these random cards, and sometimes you only get healing cards. 5 healing cards, so what are you gonna do? You can attack the enemy that way. And yes, you can turn this game into the easy mode. It's not exactly called the easy mode, but it's kinda easy. And it's still a pain in the ass. And there isn't a single spell, at least not while I was playing the game, to remove the status effects. So I got to these missions where the enemies were poisoning my characters, and I was dying. I was dying because I couldn't heal my characters from the poison. In fact, and if I didn't have, you know, a healing card, they will die. I will have to reshuffle the deck or change cards to see if I miraculously will get a healing fucking card. Like, that's horse shit. Is this your way to make your game hard? You gotta be a freaking retard. You don't know how to make hard games, man. What the fuck is this bullshit? So it pissed the shit out of me, man. And I quit. I rage quit. Am I ever going back to this game? No. And it's also one of those freaking grind fests, you know, with the type of game where you just keep on grinding several times after every goddamn mission. I don't know, maybe I just don't have the patience anymore. I used to have a lot of patience for grinding when I was younger. You know, I beat a lot of brutally hard games, and I love them, but maybe I'm getting older and I just don't have the patience anymore for these brutally hard and unbalanced and frustrating and poorly designed RPGs. Number 7. Number 7 is an ease game. That's right. Ease games, they're known for being brutal, right? Before they had an easy mode. Well, this one has an easy mode, and in fact, it also has a very easy mode. But it's okay, in very easy, it's extremely easy. It is. But I played the game on easy, and it beat the shit out of me. I still beat the game, miraculously. That's right, and I felt so proud. Never in my life had I felt so proud of beating an RPG on easy mode. You know, because it's fucking brutal, and it's Ys the Oath in Felghana. This is a remake of the original Ys 3 that came out for computer systems, Super Nintendo, Genesis, TurboGrafx. It's everywhere, right? The definitive and better version to play of this game is the full 3D remake on the PSP. Love that game, amazing soundtrack, amazing game, blah blah blah. Except it's fucking brutal. The bosses here are so unnerving. You know, never mind the platforming, never mind the regular enemies, never mind whatever, you know, you're gonna die a lot in this game. This game is like the Souls of the Ys series. I don't know how they pulled this off to make the battle so engaging and so challenging at the same time, that these bosses are not poorly designed. These are cleverly designed, and I love the boss fights. But it's just Adel is so fucking weak sometimes, man. 3 attacks and he's dead. But anyway, you know the drill, right? You level up, you move on, you beat the crap out of the bosses, you get this huge sense of accomplishment, then you get to the next boss fight and die miserably again. Number 6 is Operation Darkness. This is a very obscure strategy RPG, exclusive to the Xbox 360 and probably the holy grail of RPGs in the system currently. And it's also extremely hard and extremely grindy. But that's not my problem. My problem is, and you know, for once I kind of agree with most of the reviewers. That's right, I usually don't, but with this game I agree. Because I can't believe... I don't want to say it was poorly designed. I'd like to say it was... horribly designed! In Operation Darkness, there's permadeath, like in the old Fire Emblem games. Only the 4 main characters don't die. If they die, it's game over. Or, they just appear in the next battle. But every other character, even with personalities, even if these characters seem plot relevant, if they die, they're gone forever. So what happened to me is that I got to a mission where my healer died. The only healer I had in the game, the only one who could resurrect allies, fallen allies, because they don't die right away. They just stay there for a few turns and then they die. You can still revive them. He died. And I thought for sure, he was going to come back on the next mission, because previous to that point, I saw some characters die and they came back. It turns out I reached a point of no return. And the guy is dead. I don't want to continue, but let's just continue onwards anyway. And the next mission, oh my fucking god. I can't believe it, man. It's like this, the game was really hard before that point. But this is where it got freaking impossible. It's an extremely long ass battle with 2 tanks that are so far away and a lot of enemies waiting nearby. So you gotta divide your party, and only a few characters can take down the tanks. So you gotta separate them all. And then after you beat these tanks, a huge, extremely powerful army appears as backup, as reinforcements, including one of the main antagonists. And of course, they beat the crap out of you. Fuck this game, man. It's good. Don't take me wrong, it's good. But fuck it nonetheless. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? I hate difficulty spikes like this. Even if you grind, even if you do whatever you want to do and you can do, it's just still fucking impossible. I gave up. I was like, fuck it to pieces, man. So let's move on to number 5. Oh man, I really like this game. I really enjoy this game. I'm a huge fan of this little series, these little spin-offs of the Dragon Quest series. There's 2 games so far. Is Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, the action RPGs with Musou style. Well, the first one kind of pissed me off a little bit, but not nowhere near as much as this fucking son of a bitch, man! It baffles me that no matter what gamers say about this, developers just keep doing it. They keep doing escort fucking missions. And that shouldn't happen anymore. Escort missions shouldn't exist. Sure, there's a few boss fights in this game that are freaking insane, man. The final boss is bullshit. But I don't want to talk about the final boss to avoid spoilers. There's a specific boss battle against this guy called Duran or Durahan, I don't remember the name. What an asshole, man. What a fucking asshole. But, you just grind a few levels, and then you go back and beat the crap out of him, and then you can use these items that resurrect your party or make the battle easier, a little bit easier, and you pull through, right? No problem there. But what am I supposed to do when I have to protect the fucking useless king who just rushes into battle to get himself killed? And this is a battle. A long-ass battle, a long-ass mission, man. So if he dies near the very end of the mission, you gotta do it all over again. Like half an hour, probably more, an hour, freaking hour wasted because of this minuscule little freaking king. I love this game, don't take me wrong, but... Number 4. Let's go to number 4, right? Number 4 is a game that... It doesn't have a particular boss fight. It has like a million boss fights. Half of the bosses in this game are brutal. It's hard. And it's a grind fest. Thankfully, if you grind a lot in this game, you'll be fine. And it doesn't take you that long to level up. But still, you get stuck in one boss battle, you grind, you go back to this boss battle, you die, you grind again, you beat it, and then you move on to the next boss. The next 1 or 2 bosses are fine because you're a little bit over leveled. And then the next boss kicks the shit out of you and it's all rinse and repeat. Until the end of the game! It's this asshole called Archrice Fantasia. This fucking game, man. The battle system works like this. So there's an action points bar and it's shared by your 3 party members. You know, so occasionally you will get an extra party member, but they will act on their own. You can only directly control 3 party members here. And my god, imagine, you know, sometimes you need to do 3 actions in a row and you can't because one of these actions takes a lot of AP, like summoning the beasts, the guardian beasts or whatever they are. You know, it takes sometimes all of the AP or a huge chunk of it. And it also applies to the bosses, but sometimes you're fighting just one boss. Usually in JRPGs, bosses with several bosses in a row are the hardest, right? Not in this game. It's always awful when you get to fight only one boss because that boss gets a lot of turns in a row. And sometimes they heal themselves, sometimes they beat the shit out of a character, they gang up on one character until it's dead. And most boss battles have these little crystals, elemental crystals that favor them. Sure, you can also take advantage of that, but imagine whenever it's their turn, they take advantage of these crystals if they're still there, because you waste one turn attacking these crystals until they're destroyed, if you don't want them on the battlefield. So these bosses take advantage of these crystals too, to exploit your weaknesses and beat the crap out of you. Okay, I admit that's not poorly designed, but it wasn't that clever in my opinion, letting the boss take a huge advantage against you, mostly thanks to these freaking crystals. I don't know about you, but I thought that was a little bit unfair. Still a great game though. Alright, the last 3. Are you ready? This is one of the biggest bullshit I've seen in a video game, not only in RPGs, in all video games in general. You don't do this to the player, man. This is a fucking insult. And I'm a big fan of this guy, Tetsuya Takahashi, the creator of the Xeno series. So, you guys know how I'm not the biggest Xenoblade Chronicles fan. I respect the game, I like it, and I'm enjoying the definitive version. Great game. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I played it until a few months ago, I think, and it was alright, but it didn't hook me up. The one I played before is the prequel called Torna, the Golden Country, which is its own game. People thought it was a DLC until Nintendo said, no, this is just not a DLC, it's a full game. And it's very short, you can beat this game in like 20 hours or less, right? 15 hours. The point of this game is to do a lot of side quests, to build a community level. Once you build enough community level, you can get to the final boss. Why? Okay, let me get this straight. The game has a main story, a main quest, and you can do it. You enjoy the main story, and that's okay, right? But why would you force the player to do a lot of side quests? A lot of it. I don't mean just 5 or 10, man. You need to do a huge shit ton of side quests just to unlock the final dungeon and therefore the final boss and therefore whatever ending is waiting for you. That's horseshit, man! You don't do that to the player! That's insulting! What the fuck is wrong with you? Every single video game in existence should have its own main story untouchable. And that's it. You don't force the player to do your fucking side quests, much less a million of them. You wanna force me to do some side quests? Force me to do, I don't know, 5 of them. but not fucking 50! Yeah, another game in my collection of love-hate relationships. Fuck that game, man, but I loved it nonetheless. Number 2 is a game that also pulls some bullshit that really annoys me in video games. You know, I made a video called the true ending bullshit in video games, in RPGs. That if you don't do this or that, you don't get the true ending. You get the bad ending, or you get this. Pretty much, you know, it's the Valkyrie profile bullshit, or the Suikoden 2 bullshit. You know, you get a real fucking walkthrough to know exactly what to do to get the good ending. I can't stand that, and this asshole pulled the same freaking trick. Code Vein is an amazing game. You guys already know I'm a die-hard fan of this game. I loved it to death. But it's so brutal, man. It's so brutal. Especially if you're bad at action RPGs like me. But some of the bosses were so unnerving, man. I'll never forgive them. The two I remember the most are the freaking big-ass wolf type of creature you encounter in the cathedral. The Argent Wolf or whatever. What a fucking tricky, cheap bastard. And then, one that is absolutely worse is, I don't want to spoil the game, it's a battle against one of the main antagonists. It's not the final boss, but this guy, ooh man, it took me like several attempts and several grinding sessions just to stand a chance against this jackass. But the worst part about Code Vein is that you do get a bad ending if you don't get all the whatever things you get after every boss, every major boss battle, you know? So I forgot one, I messed up, and I got the bad ending. Fortunately, you know, the game lets you start right away a new game plus with all your level and equipment, and for a game like this, which is kinda Souls-like, oh man, that felt so good. So I immediately started a new playthrough, and beat the crap out of everybody, including these asshole bosses that pissed the shit out of me first. And I got the great ending, the good ending, the true ending. Yeah. But it still pissed me off. Are you ready for number 1? Oh man, this game is so popular out there. It's so popular because it's an amazing game. It's an amazing game. I love it. And I made a whole video about it, ranting my ass off about it. But this game is also very famous, very well known for being a fucking psychopath. And it's this fucking son of a cunt. Octopath Traveler, just like many of the games we've seen so far, it has some really asshole bosses. They're so fucking unfair. Octopath Traveler's biggest problem is that for whatever twisted and bizarre reason, the developers thought it would be a good idea to give the bosses a lot of HP. Like, why? Sometimes I know I was beating the crap out of these enemies. Like, this guy doesn't stand a chance. I'm beating the crap out of him. And those battles still took fucking forever. For no reason. Why? Yes, it's a huge grind fest, Octopath Traveler. One of the biggest fucking grind fests I've ever seen. And I still beat the game. In fact, I've beaten most of the games I've talked so far, including this one, Code Vein, Archrice Fantasia. But god damn it, man. Why would you need to do that? That's my biggest gripe with this game. Like, you wanna make the boss but the boss is challenging, hard as fuck? Do it! But why give them infinite amounts of HP? I don't get it. It only makes the battles longer and more tedious. And imagine, you know, even if the easy boss battles are annoying because of that, imagine the hard ones. I mean, you just suffer, you're sweating, you are anguished, you're just sitting there, trembling, you know, totally concentrated for 1 fucking hour until the boss goes down, and then you can finally put the controller down, take a breather, and move on with your fucking boring, miserable life. Fuck these games, I loved every single one of them, but god damn it, why do they have to be like this? Why is it that developers make their games so fucking outrageous? Fuck you, Tales of Graces F. Fuck you, Summon Night 6. Fuck you, Children of Zodiacs. Fuck you, East of Elgana. I don't have it because it's too fucking expensive. Fuck you, Operation Darkness. Fuck you, Dragon Quest Heroes 2. Fuck you, Archrice Fantasia. Fuck you, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna. Fuck you, Code Vein. And fuck you 3 times over, Octopath fucking Traveler. Check out my honorable fucking mentions for next time, goddammit. Thank you very much for fucking watching. Thank you for fucking subscribing. See you fucking next time.